Mike, Rachelle, welcome.
Good
Thank
to be.
you.
Thank you.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to kill Junior.
I could arrange that.
Can you do
arrange
that for me? He is getting on my nerves.
He's wily.
Yeah.
And now
Hard to pin down.
And now he's deputized,
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
which I'm guessing is only going
The
to
wisest decision that we've probably ever made.
Not the smartest
in the course
one.
of the show.
Do you know what's funny? When that script went around, we all we were like, "They're what? They're giving him
Him?
a gun?" We were like,
I know, right?
we
Yeah.
had the same reaction as the audience.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I understand coming up, maybe in this episode, this next episode, we're going to start getting answers about the dome itself, because we haven't really heard too much about what it's doing there.
Yeah. That's the fun thing. I think that's the fun thing of this show for me, is that it blends reality with sort of that mystical element, which we're still not even into yet. We have little hints of it, but it's played at it's not played at a heightened level. It's played at a realistic, a real realistic tone with all this stuff happening to you, and I think that's the interesting thing for it. So I think in 5 we'll see the true nature of this thing that we're trapped under, and then from 5 on, we spend that time really starting to explain what's put all this together.
And does the fact that the show is now a big hit and will likely have a second season alter plans for the finale? I imagine the intent was to wrap it up if it was just going to be a one-time event series.
They actually, I think that they were prepared for the fact that if we got a certain viewership and they had to close it off and make it just 13, that was something that they were prepared to do, just to keep it tight and make sure the fan base got answers. But when I was cast, I got an outline for the second season, so they have already they're way ahead, and so I think that they're prepared to continue it on, and hopefully they will. The great thing about the dome, the whole mythology of the dome, is you get more questions as you get answers. So it is something that can continue.
Are you surprised at the success of the show? It's like the biggest summer show in like 130 years.
Yeah. I mean, pleasantly, yes.
Yeah.
I think for all of us, it was always that was the gamble of everyone says, well, it's a summer show. It's never going. I mean, you realize it's never gonna. But then there's also that flip side that if you're a gambling man, well, I think what recent history has shown us is that people just want content. They want good content, and they want it whenever they can get it. There is the seasons and the schedule, whatever, all that, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what this kind of set out to show, is that yes, it was possible, and it's always good to be on the winning hand when it comes to that. So
We hoped also that we would have a certain amount of success, given that Stephen King wrote the book that it's based on, and when you have an executive producer like Steven Spielberg, you feel like those are the names that people are going to come and check it out, and then you want to make a show good enough that people who are not necessarily familiar with the book and just want good storytelling, that they're going to come to it as well. And that was the best case scenario for us, and that's what happened. So we got really lucky in that respect.
It can't survive on their names alone. I mean, there was always that thing that's great to prime the pump, but the show still has to deliver.
So you mentioned you're shooting the finale now. What happens in the final 5 minutes? Rachelle?
What are you looking at me for?
I'm not going down for that question.
What can you say about the episode? Like, what was your reaction when you read the script?
The final 5 minutes. I'm going to try to do it in one sentence. I'm going to try to do that cryptic thing again where I give and take a little. Are you ready?
At that. I'll end up telling them what happened.
Yeah.
and I'll never work
Don't
again.
speak.
I know just what you're saying.
The last 5 minutes will contain a very, very large moment of whether or not we have come far enough in our relationship to help one another out of a very difficult situation.
Wow.
How's that?
That's a lot more than I was expecting.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, it's good.
Will fans be like satisfied, frustrated?
I think they will be. It's a great hanger at the end, and it melds all of the different worlds that we've kind of introduced in this show. It brings them together in one last moment right before the show goes out that season. And I think it will do nothing but kind of spark a hunger to see what happens beyond that.
And you get enough answers that I think as a viewer, you feel rewarded for having stuck with it, because they do close up a certain amount of things. Brian K. Vaughan articulated that very well. He said, you have to do it when you do a show, you have to give the audience something, because they're not stupid. They know when you're just dragging it out. And so he's been very adamant about giving answers periodically to things so that, people feel like they have a reason for staying with us.
So let's devise a death scenario for Junior. How'd she go? I'm thinking drag
there's-
behind a car
There
or
are
something.
so many ways.
No,
that
that's
I could,
too modern. He needs to go in some sort of draconian,
old-fashioned,
hung-drawn,
yeah.
quartering.
I want him
sure
to suffer
Barbie-
though, so I don't want it to be quick.
Barbie could
you want him to
really
suffer.
create
I want
some
him-
interesting scenarios for him. I'm
You could do it with your
sure.
bare hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Slow and just, yeah.
Tell me more.
Blush.
Hi, I'm Allison Brie,
And I'm Joel McHale.
and subscribe to ENT-TV.
It's just ENTV for all your entertainment news.
No, it's EEN-TV.
It's just ENTV, so whatever.
It's ENENTEVE. Unless it conflicts with anything, channel or company we work for. I'm Allison Brie.
Signing off.